Hi, I'm Irving, and I'm an Adamaniac. Last time, Ma Parker and her kids had taken over the penitentiary and put a bomb in the Batmobile.
That's abominable!
No, that's a bomb in the Batmobile! If we're quite done with that, let's see how Batman and Robin are going to get out of this one. I suggested several possibilities last time.
Gosh, I'm hungry. Hope Aunt Harriet has a good meal waiting. Let's go faster.
You see that sign, Robin? Speed limit, 55 miles an hour. A good driver always observes the speed laws. It's the best way to stay out of trouble.
You're right.
The speed limit? That's what saves them? That's anticlimactic.
What worries me is what that trustee said.
What was that?
That Warden Crichton does 70 miles per hour on this road.
The warden wouldn't break the speed laws.
Maybe he wanted us to drive faster. Maybe he wasn't just looking at the Batmobile engine.
Batman logic, you just can't beat it. They look under the hood and find the bomb.
Just as I thought, dynamite.
There, that was it. We just dynamited the dynamic duo.
I am trying very hard not to scream. Dynamite does not work that way. You can literally pitch it against a rock and nothing will happen. Well, it'll break open and you'll have a mess on your hands, but it won't explode. I have verified this personally. The only possible way dynamite would do that is if it had been sitting for several years without being turned. And if that was the case, it would have blown up in the guy's face while he was putting it in the car. I sound like Sir Nitpick. This is not a good thing. Proceed.
Why would a trustee put dynamite in the Batmobile, Robin?
He certainly isn't someone you could trust.
A prison is full of social outcasts, Robin. Some of them seeking revenge, and one can hardly blame them. Maybe one of the prisoners put him up to it. Maybe even Ma Parker.
What next, Batman?
We're heading back.
Back at the pen, the warden assures them that everything is fine.
I note some changes in your office decor. It seems a trifle drab.
It's just being renovated.
And someone almost renovated the Batmobile with dynamite. That's why we're worried.
Probably an unfortunate mistake.
An unfortunate mistake? So where was that prisoner supposed to put the dynamite? That statement doesn't raise any red flags with Batman, but he insists on seeing Ma Parker and her bunch.
You see, snug as a bug, Batman.
You're keeping Ma Parker and her daughter in the same cell block with the boys?
Yes, it's what I call my family plan, Batman.
The warden is saying the dumbest things he possibly can, and Batman isn't paying attention. Family plan? Then he says his theory is that the family that dorms together reforms together. Even that isn't goofy enough to appear on Batman's radar. He examines the cells and leaves.
All right, you open these here doors now. Not that way, knucklehead. These doors only open and close electrically. Pull the master switch.
If you watch closely through this series, you might notice that everything in Gotham City works off knife switches like that one. Except those things went out of common use decades before this. So Gotham has some catching up to do.
It's taken me months to organize this here little party, and now we are in business. We got everything we need right here. But most of all, we got some of the top talent in the country. Oh, it's true, boys. Most of you were brought in by Batman, and the Cape Crusader only deals with top echelon talent.
Hello, Catwoman.
What about the Penguin and the Joker?
They're busy with other projects and can't do the cameo.
They're still in solitary.
Oh, that too. Notice that Catwoman is there in the middle of all these guys who have probably been in prison for a very long time, and none of them has any broken limbs from trying to approach her. I find that hard to believe. While Batman slowly figures out that they've been duped, a crime wave hits the city.
shipment today, Mickey. $500,000 in cash.
All right, you men, let's have that cash.
I hope there's nobody else on the street.
Our aim's bad enough. Theirs is worse. 4 guns, they can't even hit this truck.
You know your aim is lousy, but you immediately go for the gun. Not smart. Plus, you see they've got 4 guns and you have 2, and you start the gunfight. Very not smart.
What was that?
The seismograph. Needle jumped.
You mean there's an earthquake in Gotham City?
It didn't register a blast of that intensity. But it does mean there's been an explosion in the vicinity of the Gotham City National Bank.
They also have grenades. Time to surrender.
Batman! What are we gonna do now, Ma?
I tell you what, let's buy him off.
Huh?
They escape back down their sidewalk access.
They got away, Batman.
Yes, thanks to all that interference.
I wonder who they were.
I don't know. But the last one left us a souvenir.
Off to the Batcave to analyze it. It's prison cloth, all right, so naturally, Batman leaps to the conclusion of an escaped convict. They haven't heard of any, but Batman calls Warden Crichton anyway.
This is Batman, Warden Crichton. Do you know anything about an escaped prisoner?
An escaped prisoner?
It's that meddling tape crusader. Go tell him to take a bat jump in Gotham Lake.
Warden Crichton, is there something wrong?
Yes, there's plenty wrong, Batman. Ma Parker's taken over the prison. She and her boys...
That took long enough. They race over to the prison. Bat climb time. But I would assume the prison wall doesn't have any windows. How are we going to have our cameo? I guess we don't get one this time. Oh well.
Hold it. There's easier ways of getting in here. Like robbing a bank.
Never mind. They talk their way past Uncle Milty and into the yard.
We've gotten this far, now what?
Try to cross the yard without being spotted.
You've been spotted, Batman.
Hello, Kelly. Nice to see you. Warden Crichton tells me you're doing a fine job.
He does? Well, welcome to the pen. Let's take him to Ma.
I hope Batman planned that. Ma invites them to have a seat.
Be careful of those straps, fellas. They're connected to the electrical circuit. Let's get going, boys. There's a couple of last-minute odds and ends I gotta attend to. Legs, you stay here. Even a girl ought to be able to watch those 2 now.
What penitentiary has side-by-side electric chairs? Is this another one of Warden Crichton's modern, more humane and reformative methods? Fry with a friend?
And you weren't fooled for a minute, were you? When Ma left you here with us, even though we can't get away.
Wasn't I? I mean, did she? Well, why?
I have a suspicion, Legs, that Ma and the boys have something else cooking. Something they maybe didn't want you to know about.
Well, they can't pull that one over on me.
Now that she's out of the room, Batman can go to work.
Now, if I can just break this wire and make contact with a transistorized shortwave bat transmitter in my utility belt.
But that only connects to the receiver in the Batcave.
That's right, Robin. If I could just send a signal to Alfred.
We don't have any power source.
The power is in this chair itself. If I can just break this wire loose.
Why is that wire already hot? And why isn't the electricity having any effect on him?
Yes, madam?
Alfred, I know Bruce's study is his private domain, but those sounds...
And he's having some work done on the wiring, madam. A new television unit, I believe.
Oh. Well, don't tell him I was curious, will you, Alfred?
Yeah, madam.
Alfred heads in and decodes the message. The whole place is operated by exposed knife switches. This is the modern way.
Something must have gone wrong with the electricity.
Yeah, I guess the power failed. I can't see.
Alfred, what do you light a match?
Here you are, Ma.
Batman's loose!
We get a fight that's a little one-sided since Batman and Robin have infrared goggles and the others don't.
You all right, Robin?
Never felt better, Batman.
I noticed an emergency generator switch here. Yes, there it is.
The whole place. Bruce Wayne needs to hire an electrician to update this place.
But I still don't understand what happened.
Simple. The message I gave to Alfred was to have the Gotham City Electric Company shut off the power at precisely midnight.
Holy Edison, you're a whiz, Batman.
And it's just that easy, too. Remember the Y2K scare? I always thought that right at midnight, Con Edison should have shut everybody's power off for about 5 seconds, then turned it back on and said, "Just kidding." They can do that, right?
Well, Ma, I hope you've learned your lesson at last.
Oh, have pity, Batman, on a poor mother. I didn't mean any harm. I was just trying to make my children happy.
Look out, Batman!
Looking for this, Ma? I took the precaution of removing it from your hair during the fight.
You're very clever, Batman. It isn't easy to foil the greatest mother of them all.
Batman mentions that all the convicts are electrically locked in their cells, so all is well. What about the corrupt guards? Is there anybody left that you can trust to look after the place? Maybe put them all in cells, then call O'Hara and his cops. They're inept, but at least they're honestly inept. In the warden's office, the Cape Crusaders are chatting with the warden and Commissioner Gordon when they hear the bell calling the convicts to Sunday chapel. Just then, a package arrives.
Excuse me, Warden.
Yes, what is it, Riley?
This package just arrived from Art Parker. I thought you better see it first.
Careful, Warden. You know her tricks.
Yes. Might be some more dynamite.
Yes, she'd have a bomb sent to herself. Do you listen to yourself when you talk?
Let me see that, Warden. It was ordered on your telephone, Warden, by our 4 children when they had control of the prison.
Oh no, I think I see where we're going with this. Please no.
Easy, Batman.
I don't think there's any danger, Robin. Flowers, gentlemen.
Please let them be congratulations on taking over the prison.
Do you know what day this is?
Just get it over with.
What day?
Mother's Day.
I could have lived the rest of my life very comfortably without that. As a villain, Ma Parker is kind of bland. The boys don't really do much, and Legs is eye candy with an attitude. Her idea of taking over the prison and making it a base of operations is pretty brilliant, really, but we never go anywhere with it. And here's a question. Suppose they all steal $1 squillion. What are they going to do with it? How can they spend it? They live inside a prison. I'm not convinced she thought this through. Shelley Winters was great, of course. She overplayed the part just enough, which is a hard thing to do. A mother who's a crime boss telling her daughter girls don't belong in crime increases the goofy factor, and she played it perfectly. You believe she thinks that even though she's a girl herself. That's good acting. It's Shelley Winters. Same thing. Until next time, I'm Irving, and I'm an Adamaniac.